Hey everybody, we are Upper Deck. Me and Mark are going to be playing some keepers for you, and we're going to be having fun. You know, it's Saturday. We want to show off this new game because it's a blast, but you know, we're going to have technical issues, unfortunately. I'm hoping not, but we'll see. Mark, you have a camera at all times, which is amazing compared to me having to switch it over. So we're going to stay on the screen as long as we can.
Is there any way we can do the top down? Because top down really shows the game.
Yes.
I'm going to start.
Here we go. Let's see if this will work. Come on. There you go. Enjoy.
All right, everybody. So this is Keepers of the Questar. It is a brand new game we got coming out later this year, designed by Gordan LeVasseur, who's actually in chat. You can hear him. He's going to be on Discord with us. Answering some questions, telling us kind of the behind the scenes about where this all came from. But Gordan came to us with an idea, a game that he had made for his students that takes a standard pencil and paper dungeon crawler, brings it down to 2 players, 1v1, and then gives them both the ability of being the quest master, the person who's actually designing the quest, group of adventurers that are going to go through and try and complete that quest. So you're running 2 games at the exact same time. So we're going to go through setup. We're going to, Ryan and I are going to design quests for each other, and then it's going to be kind of a race to get through and see who can complete those quests first.
Great. Should we transition, or should you show all the pieces while you're there?
We'll go ahead and show all the pieces. So the game itself has got multiple maps, 8 different maps to be exact, and those can range anywhere from like ice caves, sand temples, cemeteries, all kind of the standard stuff that you would see in a dungeon crawler setup. They're all about the same size, but they all have different layouts, and then we would go through and fill them in with monsters and traps and things that we're looking for, which is kind of the Questar, which is the item that your adventurers are looking for, and then we're coming in, grabbing that, and getting out. So the maps themselves are completely customizable as far as the placement of the items, and the replayability of these are absolutely massive, because you could have the same map, the same layout of all the tiles, but then each of the different tokens represent something, whether it's a type of monster which can change, or a trap that can change, and that can completely rewrite how that adventure would go. It also comes with an absolute ton of tokens, which you can kind of see. You've got stuff for the quest masters. You've got your combat tokens, the tokens for the adventurers. It comes with 8 different adventurers that all have different abilities on them. They're everything from barbarians to wizards, battle mages, rangers, thieves, all different types of stuff. And then they will gain experience as they defeat monsters and solve different things. And then you've got your quest sheet. This is actually a massive pad of paper that is included in here, and this is where you will design your quest, whatever map you chose, what the different monsters, the different traps are, if you have an item in there, what that item is, and then what the goal is. We're going to run the same goal, which is to find the Questar and get out, but this kind of lays out how your map, your quest is going to be. So it's kind of an easy reference sheet, so you can kind of come back to what this is. So this is where you plan out, then you build, then you have some fun running through and trying to complete those. So Ryan and I are actually going to go through and design the maps that we want, fill them in, and then see who can complete it first.
Let's do it. All right. So we are going to set up our maps. The camera's going to stay over there with Mark, and he's going to show you how to place everything, because that camera's working right now, and so we're going to keep it going like that.
All right, so normally when you have your setup here, I'm just going to slide this over a little bit. You actually are going to be running both those maps. There is a screen that is included, or two screens that are included. It does have a bit of information on the inside that you can used for easy reference for rules, the types of monsters and traps that are in there that you can fill in what each of those means, so you don't have to keep going back to the rulebook that much. And so your Questmaster map, the one you're actually designing, is going to be behind that screen. You don't want your opponent to see what's going on. And then the one you're actually running, the Adventurer map, you do want your opponent to see what's going on so that you can kind of keep an eye on what they're doing, what's happening within that map to make sure that they are checking the things that they've done, and then kind of make sure that everybody understands what's happened and what could possibly happen. So first thing you want to do is actually fill out your quest sheet. So I am doing the Great Hull. So I'm going to go ahead and check that off. You can name it something if you want to, so you can kind of give it a little personality. You are basically writing a story for your opponent. It's not as grand as some of the campaigns that you would normally see in the pencil and paper stuff. So this makes it a little easier for new players, for younger players. But it kind of gives them their own. It allows them to use their imagination to kind of give it a little bit of life to it. So I'm going to go ahead and name that, and then we're going to go ahead and choose one of each of the levels of monsters. So for the level 1s, we've got goblins, skeletons, and zombies, and based off of the inside of the screen. Those all have kind of the same ability. They are an easier battle, an easier fight. They don't have anything special to that. For level 2, you have Arachnos, which are kind of like your spiders. They can cause your opponent to lose turns. Orcs are just more combat, but they're a little tougher. The Werebeasts are easier in combat, but they can move faster during the game. Once the tokens are placed, the monsters can move around a little bit so that you can react to how your opponent is playing. Maybe they've gone a direction you weren't expecting them to, and so you can kind of move them around to fill in those spaces to make sure that you're slowing down your opponent as much as possible. For the level 3, these are kind of your big guys. You're only going to have one of each of these, or one level 3. You have your Construct, which can be... They can take your opponent a long time to beat. It actually causes them to miss a turn. The Minotaur, which is actually 2 battles in one, and then the Necromancer, where he can actually resurrect some of the lower monsters that have been defeated throughout the game. So he actually can bring back some monsters there. So we're actually going to go through and select each one of those. So we're going to go and do this one. Let's try that one. That one. And then for your traps, you have the different types. You have an alarm, which can help monsters move, bolts, which just cause damage, and pits, which can cause your opponent to end their turn immediately. It basically doesn't cause any damage, but it does slow them down quite a bit. Darkness, which keeps them from moving, your opponent from moving so quickly. A nest, which can cause a new monster to appear, and then the venom traps, which cause additional damage. Your jaw traps, which slow down your opponents. Your portals, which allow you to move the opponent around, and the spawn traps, which are kind of like the nests, only they cause bigger bigger monsters to appear. So we'll do that one. We'll do that one, and then we'll do that one. So down here you have your item. Your item can be anything you would like it to be. So there's a token that looks like a little treasure chest, and this just represents an item. The stuff that we have on the quest sheet can be a mimic, which is a monster, a resurrection scroll, which can help your opponent, or an XP potion, which can also help your opponent. Kind of the thing with dungeon masters are they don't necessarily are there to decimate the adventurers. They want the adventurers to have some fun. So maybe you've made it a little difficult and you're trying to kind of balance that out, or maybe you just want to have some fun with it. So we're going to go ahead and give them one of those. And then the goal. So the goal is what are you asking your opponent to do during the game? We've always requested or suggested that for your first game you always do the find the Questar and escape. That's just they're brought into the map. They have to find the item and get out. But that can be changed in however you want to play. So some of the other ideas we have on here is clean out the Infestation, which is to defeat all of the monsters. Once you do that, you've completed it. Or maybe you need to go in and like rescue a captive or find something that you've been there to locate. So now that we've got this all filled out, this is going to help us understand what the tokens on our map are going to be. So now we're going to go through and actually fill in all of these tokens on this side. We're going to go through and put everything in.
Okay. While you do that, I'll try to get my camera switched over.
Oh, okay.
So I will place the in token. So this is where red enemy. This is where Mark will go, and this is where I'll keep track of him. And then I placed all my tokens out, including where he needs to exit, what he needs to capture. No, there's that glare, but it's right here. And then on this map, is a replica of what he's ultimately placing all his tiles on. And then he's going to tell me where I spawn in, and these are all my tokens here. When I run into a monster or a trap, I place that tile accordingly. And so I'm excited for, he has beaten me last stream, so we are, this is round 2, and this is my favorite part of the game because it's different completely. I can remember how he played, what numbers he chose in battle, which we'll get to, and of course I don't remember that, otherwise I'd be a genius. So you pick 4 times, and no. But yeah, so Mark, when you're ready, obviously we have to do one other step, which is choose your heroes.
All right, so the heroes I went with, or the heroes that I got, were Morrigan. She's our barbarian. She's very good at just battle. You've also got Weapons Master Wayland, who is a pretty good fighter, but he can also reveal monsters that are coming, so he can kind of give you an idea of what you're up against. I have Aloran. She allows me to disarm traps, but she also can investigate, allow me to see what's coming, and then if I can get her up to level 3, I can actually attack monsters before they get to me. You kind of give me a free shot. And then I've got Strahan the Bard. He actually helps me get out of fights if I get into trouble. He can also help me heal if I need to rest, which we can get into later. And then if I need to find that exit portal, which is once I find the Questar, I need to know where that exit portal is, so if I can get him up to level 3, I can also help. The nice thing about this is I've got quite a lot of health. So I don't have anybody that can kind of help me heal, but I've got a lot of health on my side, which is going to really help me when I take on the bad guys. So
I have a Hydrid for first aid, a lot of healing on his side. If one of my adventurers fall, he can resurrect, which is going to be important.
Yeah, he's the only character that can actually resurrect a fallen character.
Then I have Blind Harry. He's going to help me get rid of traps. So I can do trap sense, reveal all traps around me. But advanced lockpick is probably my most important ability here, next to the locate the chest token. So I'm going to need to level him up to at least level 2 to be able to disarm traps. That'll help me big time. I have Master Firth, the Battle Mage. He helps me get level 2s down to level 1s. But also if I get him to level 3, then I can locate the Questar, which I'm seeking. So that's going to be someone I try to do that. And then I have Gwendolyn, who I lost to, because her biggest thing is she can teleport 6 spaces away. And I don't know if you can see on the maps here, you have these red lines. So I can just phase right through those. But I can also investigate any single space, so I can help track down those Questars and whatnot. Questar.
Yeah, so as we go through and have our combat with the monsters, you will gain experience based off the level of that monster. So if you fight a level 1, you get 1 experience. There is not enough experience in the game to level all of your adventurers to level 3. So you have to know...
Keep going, I'm going to try to do this.
You have to kind of plan out how you're going to use that experience and level up your characters. So It doesn't always work out. The last game that Ryan and I had, he was kind of leveling up his master first to help him find the Questar, and then he found the Questar. So the experience that he was using may not have worked out later in the game, but that's kind of the joy of these kind of pen and paper style dungeon crawlers. You think you know what's happening, you've got no clue what you're going to be up against, so you kind of have an idea of how you're going to play, but there's a chance that it's all going to go out the window, and you just have to improvise. And the story kind of takes on a mind of its own. So we're going to have some fun with this.
100%.
So the first thing that we want to do is we want to tell our opponents where they're going to start, where that in the either whether it's a doorway or a portal or however it is that your story goes about. So where am I going to be starting?
So you are entering the forest outpost of California. With absolutely no greenery in sight, this forest is special. It houses some of the most magical creatures and also the most magical treasures hidden. You are trying to find the Questar and escape with your lives. You enter on H1.
H1. Wake up in some beds.
You wake up in a bed because you are already struck and you're resurrected by my druid. You're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I get 1 XP for doing that.
No. All right. So you have been tasked to go to the Great Hall of Carlsbad.
Oh, beautiful.
And so you arrive at the front gate. So you're actually going to start on I-4.
So I-4.
You have been told that the person that resides here has found a unique item. The rumor is that it is the Questar, but you've been sent by your lord to find out what it is and hopefully persuade them to donate it.
Okay. So I have to get this Questar and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to take the first move?
Go ahead.
I am not looking at the screen, but that is Mark's board. And so I will start my moves using 4 movement points mixed with investigation points. They're called exploration points. I was thinking adventure points. That's not right. So starting at I-4, I have decisions to make. Do I go up or go down? And Gordan, I'm going to tell you, I'm going straight through. I'm going straight on into H4.
H4. So as you walk into H4, you come face to face with the Lord's butler. Unfortunately, he's seen better days, and it is a skeleton of a man who used to reside here. So this is a level 1 combat. So combat is done kind of uniquely here. Gordan actually designed a way of doing this where instead of rolling dice, instead of your standard pen and paper dungeon crawler where you have dice that you roll and try and figure stuff out and pretty much blame when it doesn't work out, we have 6 combat tokens numbered 1 through 6. And so this particular battle, which is with a skeleton, is a battle of 1 through 4. So I'm going to choose one of these 4 tokens, and then all Ryan has to do is guess the number that I have chosen. If he guesses wrong, one of his adventurers gains a wound, and he will continue to guess until he guesses right. So standard, you could lose up to 3 hit points in one of these battles, unless you, for whatever reason, decide to choose the same number twice, and you're wrong both times. But as soon as he chooses the correct number, the combat ends, and he will gain an experience point that he can put on one of his adventurers. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one of these. And which number did I choose?
I am going to say you chose 3.
That is incorrect. So that's
Gain
1 damage. Now the damage can be divided up between the adventurers because as you're battling together. So every time you miss, that wound can be added to whoever. But the experience can only be added to the person that delivers that death blow. So it doesn't matter how much you get, you will always give all of the experience to a single character.
4.
No.
1.
There it is.
1.
So you get 2 wounds that he can move to anybody, and then he's going to add 1 experience point to one of his adventurers. Now, because the way that the adventurers are broken up, the first experience point you give will unlock their level 1 power. In order to get to level 2, you have to have 2 additional experience points, and then to level 3 is 3 additional experience points. So to get all 3 of your adventurer's powers unlocked, you have to have 6 total experience to do that.
All right, so that was my first expiration point. I just realized that all my guys are very weak.
Yes.
So yes, they're strong abilities, but they're weak. So let's see here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go up to H3.
H3, there is nothing in H3.
And then H2.
H2, there is nothing in H2.
G2.
And finally into G2, there is nothing there.
Okay, and that is my turn. It is all you.
All right. So I'm starting over here in H1. All right. So unfortunately, the way that the walls are set up, I'm actually going to be forced to come out here. So whatever he is set up for me, I'm probably going to come face to face almost immediately.
You're being real
so we will
with it.
go into H1. I1.
I1 is a trap.
There it is.
It is a pit.
There it
Your
is.
turn ends. Now, there's one rule that Mark didn't need to get to, but I can't put the same token and type of token next to each other. So I can't go like pit right next to each other.
Right.
At least at the start of the game. Monsters can eventually obviously stand next to each other or even on top of each other, but traps can never. The same level trap can never be in the same.
So yeah, what we say is you cannot place 2 of the same token next to each other. So you can't have 2 level 1 or level 2 traps or monsters together. But throughout the game, the monsters will move, and that was actually something we missed during your turn. At the end of your movement, you have the chance of moving one of your monsters. So monsters can move on top of traps, they can move on top of items to protect them, or they can move toward the adventurers as they move around.
Okay. So your turn is over. Would you like to move a monster?
Sure.
Gordon, we can hear you, so anytime you want to
Sure.
say something, feel free.
One of the things I was going to add is if you think through the simple decision making tree, you can see that combat gets easier as you go through. You know, as long as you're paying attention, remembering what numbers you guess, and that was something I ended up going through with because of I thought, I could use this to teach my kids how to play, fantasy role playing games, and I wanted to give them a faster game that felt more where they might feel more successful more quickly, so they keep playing. And it has a nice effect when you're sitting there at the table with people.
Yeah, I love the battle mechanic because
The other thing, I think there was like a little bit of synergy with you guys at Upper Deck when you were adding the parts of where you could have different endings and you could choose different goals for the quest. The idea of throwing in like that XP potion or something like a treasure chest at the end, or a mimic to be very cruel. It's neat to have that, so that when like I'm playing with a friend, I can play something that's mean and vicious who's a peer. But if I'm playing as an adult with a kid, which is something I do frequently, I could throw them something a little extra, like here's an XP potion, and I could tailor the narrative to my audience, my other player, which is a great idea.
yeah,
And that's actually kind of that's something that a lot of people don't realize when you're playing a larger pen and paper style campaign, is the dungeon master or the game master is not really there to completely destroy the players. Everyone's there to have fun. So you can tailor this, like you said, to whoever audience is that you're playing. If you're introducing this to a younger player that's never played something like this before, you don't have to go heavy. Ryan and I have played many times, and there's a bit of a rivalry here. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to try and be as mean as possible, especially since he had me completely lose my turn on the very first step. So
Going down, baby. It's going down.
Yep. So that's kind of the one thing that we really wanted to go with this is not just replayability and being able to change a story or a map or a playthrough, but also trying to make something that is family friendly, younger audience friendly. You don't need a large group to play this like you do on a standard campaign. You don't need a lot of time to play this like you do on a standard campaign. So it's something that two people can sit down and play very easily, and it can just be completely not manipulated, but what's the word? I'm looking for?
You can
Customized.
engineer.
Thank you.
You can engineer the entire experience for. You can get the entire experience in one sitting and not have to string together so many things and leave open threads, which is a nice experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, in the thing that I was the designer diary I was writing for it mentions how this is definitely a product of where I was in my life when I was creating it, because I had young kids and my Dungeons and Dragons group could only meet infrequently, and when it did, there would frequently be like 2 of us who would show up and no one else could show up. And then we're sitting there looking at each other like, well, we want to kind of scratch that fantasy role-playing itch, but there's nothing going on. And so this kind of came from that as well.
So I am going to start my turn.
Mm-hmm.
G3. I'm going to investigate there.
G3, you see a rather large treasure chest.
Ooh. Probably a mimic because he's a jerk. So I'm just going to leave that right there.
Excellent.
F2.
F2, there's nothing there.
And then I will go down to F3.
F3, nothing there. That's 3.
And then E3.
E3, stepping into the big room here. You hear a click, and there's actually a large puff of black smoke, and you find yourself in darkness.
Perfect timing because my turn's already over.
Mm-hmm.
Darkness reduces my remaining exploration points. They're cut down in half. So if it's perfect timing to land in it because I was already out. So boom, baby. All right, you're up.
Did you want to move one of your monsters?
No.
Let's go ahead and jump on down to I2.
Surprised you didn't go over to H1.
Nothing there?
Nothing there.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and jump down to I3.
Okay.
Anything there?
Nothing there.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and investigate I4.
Okay. Nothing there.
All right. And then we'll jump out into H3.
All right. Nothing there.
Okay.
I read him like a book, Gordon. I read him like a book. I knew exactly what he was going to do.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that the walls prevented me from walking anywhere else except for that down that hallway.
I knew you were going to investigate that corner. You'd be out of expiration points right there. Oh, you set up perfect.
Let's see. I would like to...
The use of exploration and then taking a moment to investigate instead of move and discover what's there it's amazing how over the gameplay it becomes a very strategic move that could give you an advantage if you play it just right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're given those 4 exploration points because you have 4 different adventurers. So in the event that one of your adventurers is rendered unconscious after they lose all of their health, you would then only have 3 exploration points. So you definitely want to keep your adventurers alive as long as possible. But utilizing the mixture between movement and investigation can definitely help you from minimizing the number of points you have to spend. Instead of walking in there to find out what's going on and then walking out again and spending 2, I only needed to spend the 1 to investigate. If there's something there, then
Next turn.
yeah, then I can always use my next turn, or I can use that to jump in, kind of like what Ryan did. He saw the treasure chest. He has no idea what's in that treasure chest. He may have walked past something very valuable, but he won't know. So
Highly doubt it. How we've been playing. So, all right.
There will be that fun reveal at the end, though.
yes,
Yeah.
I can always go back through
XP
it.
potion.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, getting the XP potion now, though, if it was that, it only bumps up one of my guys to level 1. It's a free XP point.
Either
Or I guess I could level 2 there.
or you could go to level 2. The XP potion that's on there levels up a character to the next power that they have. So if you don't have somebody that's got XP, that would get him up to level 1. But if you do have somebody with XP like he has with Master Firth, that would get him up to level 2. It could also possibly get somebody up to level 3 if they have enough there. So it's strategic, but if you don't know what it is, then you don't.
No.
You don't know if you're going to take that chance.
All right. My turn. Here we go.
Yes.
I'm going to go E2.
E2. There is nothing there. You find an empty throne.
Go to D2.
You step into D2.
Nothing? Okay. And then D3.
And then down there. And you walk yourself face to face with the owner of the Great Hall, who has now become a necromancer.
Oh, why was he just chilling there by himself? Is what I'm
He
curious.
may have heard you coming and stepped off his throne the last turn.
Thematic. All right.
He wasn't sure which direction you were going to go. He was hoping to surprise you.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's see here. Level 3
Yeah.
monster right out the gate, huh?
So the necromancer is a 1-6 battle. So I'm going to choose one of the 6. And in the event that he misses, I get to resurrect one of my level 1s. Now, he's only defeated one of my level 1s, but I can always bring that person back, that monster back. That then allows me to kind of run around. But because it's a 1-6, it's much more difficult to choose which one it is. And again, every time he misses, he will get a wound to apply to one of his adventurers. And I'm going to choose... Let's choose that one.
5.
Yep.
Yes!
Wow.
So the necromancer puts on a grand display, monologuing, telling how he's going to spend eternity with your souls.
And then gets one shot.
And he took his eyes off of, looks like Lauren was the one that you were given?
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn, rather. He took his eyes off Gwendolyn, and she shot him in the face with a fireball and ended him right there. Big puff of smoke.
Boom. I will reap your ah!
You have made a giant mistake. Oh.
It's like how every cartoon or anime or anything fight when they're talking, just hit them.
It's like, oh god, he's monologuing again.
Yeah. So I started on E3. I went to E2, 1, 2, 3, and I'm just gonna go right back to E3.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Mind's Eye and investigate a single space.
Okay.
And abilities, I can use one character's ability once per turn, so I cannot use both her abilities. I'm just going to be able to use one for this turn, and I'm going to investigate. B2.
B2, you see a werebeast.
Okay. May move, but it's good to know. All right.
That's a good power.
Your turn.
Well, I've got my 4 points. Haven't seen anybody yet. I need to start interacting. All right, so we're going to go down to H4. Is that another pit?
Yep.
The nice thing about it is there's only 3 of these. So once I get through all of this, I won't have to face those again.
That's very true. Very true. Try and get this camera all squared away. All right, so his turn's over. All right.
If I remember correctly, last time you had me on the ropes through the entire game.
100%. Yes, and then teleport. Stupid.
Came back at the very end.
All right, so I cleared that. So let me go back to F3. down to F4.
F4. You find yourself face to face with a snarling werebeast.
Ooh, another level 2.
Ooh.
All right.
So this is a 1-4 battle, and they do move quickly. So I was able to move him kind of around a corner and down a hallway to make sure that I could kind of make him slow him down a little
Was he
bit.
the B2 one that I found?
No, he doesn't move that quick.
That's very fast.
Yeah, he doesn't
That
have
was a
teleportation.
weird-
When monsters move, they can't move through walls just like adventurers. So the only time you can actually move through walls or look through walls is with abilities.
Okay.
Investigation, you can't look through walls. Movement, can't go through walls. That kind of stuff.
All right, 1 to 4. You got it?
Yes.
I'm going to go with 1.
No.
Okay. I'm going to go with 3.
No.
Ooh. I'm going to go with 4.
No.
Dang. All right. That was a 2.
Oh boy.
So
3 points of damage to his adventurers, but he does gain 2 points of XP because he defeated a level 2. He's loading up his.
Are you freeing
his
up a
mages.
power?
You know, so he's
Alright.
unlocked. He's locked levels 1 and 2 on both Gwendolyn and Master Firth.
all right. Shake it off. Shake it off. That was 1, 2. So 2 more left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go left to E4.
E4.
Oh, whoops. Okay. That's not what I want to do, but that's fine. E4.
Nothing there.
And then D4.
D4 is another skeleton.
Ooh, gee. All right. I'm going to use Fireball and guess 2 numbers. Let me know when
Okay.
you're ready.
All right. Go for it.
1, 3.
No.
Wow. 4.
Yes.
Shoot.
So he still takes the point of damage,
I get the XP.
but he does get an XP.
And that's Master Firth who gives you that ability with the fireball, right?
Yes.
Very cool.
So something like that is you kind of have to, again, going back to the theme of making sure that your choices have meaning behind them. You may have a character that has a couple abilities that you want to use at the same during the same turn, but you have to choose between that. So he used Fireball on Master Firth, which means Master Firth can't use his second ability. Remind me what that is?
Alteration spell.
Yeah, so an alteration spell. Or if he were to use the alteration spell, he would then not be able to use the Fireball during that turn. The alteration spell allows him to reduce a level 2 into a level 1, make it a little easier. Doesn't gain as much experience, but it makes it a little easier, especially later in game. So you really have to kind of decide which ability you're going to use and plan out your turn. Morrigan has the ability that allows her to fight, guess 2 numbers, kind of like the Fireball, but she also can move faster. So depending on how I want to do that, if I decide to move more during my turn, that does remove my ability of using another power. You really have to know what you want to do, and hopefully it works its way out.
All right, that was my last movement, but
Okay.
I'm going to use Mind's Eye again.
Okay.
Let's look at G4.
G4, it appears that there is a statue there holding something that requires what appears to be the Questar, so that's going to be your exit portal.
That was so complex. Is it my out portal?
It's your output.
Something
I like
looks
it.
like the sun mixed with a statue rubbed in dirt. It could be the Questar holding a symbol of... That was great. Okay, got my exit portal.
Yes.
Yeah, when I went left, I was like, oh shoot, I didn't check that cubby.
I know you did.
All right, good to go. You're up.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go down to H5.
Nothing there.
I'm going to investigate into I5.
In I5, you find a nice looking drink of Wellspring. Would you like to use it now?
No, I think I'm okay due to the fact that I have yet to find a single monster in this place. You know, when they said that it was a forest outpost, I didn't realize the abandoned forest outpost. You know, magical creatures.
It's California. There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Unfortunately, the wildfires have removed everybody. They've all been evacuated.
You could have actually used the Firelands map and said the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. All right, so move down for 1. That for 2. I'll come down to H6.
Nothing there.
And then move down to H7.
You have found the treasure chest.
Ooh.
Inside.
Well,
oh, it's a
I want to
fake.
Open it. Do I want to open it?
You went down into it.
Okay, we'll go for that.
Is that? Do you have to land on it and then open it?
No, that's fine. It's fine.
No. What's
It's
the
okay.
ruling?
It's okay.
What's the ruling?
It's okay. We'll go ahead and open it up. So it is a mimic.
Well, no, for the viewers. So if you land on the treasure chest, can you choose not to open it?
Kind of like with the wellspring. You don't have to actually use the wellspring when you touch it.
Oh, I thought it was. Well, this mimic attacked you, so he's landed.
That's fine.
He bit
I'm
you on
good.
the ankle.
I'm good. I'm good with that. I actually need experience,
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say.
I'm okay with this.
Actually, it's a resurrection. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Let me choose a number here.
Okay.
Even if it destroys you, you know where the wellspring is.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. I can always drag somebody back there.
Just come on back.
Exactly.
All right, go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 3.
No.
2.
No.
All right. Let's load them up. 4.
Yes.
Okay. So I take 2. Go ahead and add those to.
Good mimic.
More
Good
again.
mimic.
Now, you're probably not going to reveal this right now, but do either of you have a strategy for picking numbers or for guessing numbers when you choose a target or you guess at a target?
I always pick 4. Yeah.
Copy that. Understood. Writing that down.
Oh, Mr. Stevie. Hey, everybody. Or, hey, everybody. Hey, Stevie. Thanks for the sub. 3 months you've been subscribed.
Nice.
Yes, we're streaming today and tomorrow. I don't know how long the message has been here. Sorry, I've been trying to win. But we're playing Keepers today, and then we're going to be playing some Aliens Bug Hunt tomorrow at 1 p.m. as well. We're going to get back to a regular stream schedule. That'll be announced. But what time? Is it 2?
It is 2 o'clock.
Wow. All right, well, we're done. No.
No. We can keep playing.
No. All right. Yeah, Mr. Stevie, thank you. Hello. Stick around. Feel free to tell me what number to pick. All right.
Yeah, as far as numbers, not really. You can kind of try and guess, and that's kind of the mind game that's in this. You know, am I guessing what my opponent is thinking about, or am I overthinking that, kind of? So it's something that if you let it get away from you, it definitely can make things a little interesting.
I am going to investigate D5.
Oh, you're going to go ahead and spend that? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, you are investigating. I thought you were using the ability.
No.
There is nothing there.
Nothing there. Good. So I'm going to go back out to E4.
To E4.
Down to E5.
Okay.
E6.
E6 is a skeleton.
Good. All right. So I'm going to use the fireball. Guess 2 numbers out the gate. 3, 4.
Nope.
1.
Yes.
Sorry, Gwendolyn. Take a hit for me. All right.
Just imagine how bad this could have been if the necromancer was around.
Yeah. That's kind of the fun ones that when you're choosing a level 3, do you want to kind of set things up and hopefully, you know, the opponent goes through and takes out some lower level guys you can bring back, or do you kind of go with the construct, which can be a very long battle, or do you go with like the Minotaur, which is 2 completely different battles that can cause a lot of damage?
Oh yeah.
All right. So that's my turn.
Okay.
Investigate 1 4. And then G5 with Gwendolyn's ability.
1, 2, 3, 4. G5. There's nothing in G5.
Nothing G5.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move over to I7.
Okay, nothing there.
Investigate I6.
Nothing there.
Move back over to H7.
Okay,
And then into G7.
nothing there.
All right.
Great turn.
Wow.
Great turn.
Yeah.
You guys are like professionals.
All right, nothing over there. Unless you buried it there, but I'll just keep going. So I'm going to go to D6.
D6. Nothing there.
C6.
C6. Nothing there.
Down to the side to B6.
B6. You hear a click, and then you are transported away from your space.
A level 3.
A level 3 portal.
Okay, where would you like me to go?
Let's see.
So he can move me 4 spaces in any direction, ignoring walls,
Mhm.
just not diagonal.
So I'm going to go ahead and move you 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move you over to F7.
1, 2, 3. How? 1, 2, 3.
4.
F6, you mean?
I'm sorry. Yes, F6. Sorry.
That's impossible, Mark. Okay.
This is my world. I can do whatever I want.
Yes, thinking Great Hall of Mark. That was. I started where? Started on the monster. So 1, 2, 3. So I have 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, clearly there's something there. I'm going to go to F5.
Okay.
That is my turn.
Go to F7.
Okay.
Up to F6.
Okay.
And then over to G6.
Okay.
And up to G5.
You run into an orc.
Ooh, level 2.
1 to 6 battle.
I will go ahead. Actually, I cannot because she has not been damaged enough. So this hopefully will allow me to unlock Morrigan's Berserker ability. 3.
No.
5.
No.
I'm going to take a lot of damage on this one. Awesome. 2.
No.
Awesome. Great, I'm getting nice and bloody. This is fantastic.
Yeah, all right.
This is a monster.
4 months of planning is working out perfectly. 6.
No.
And 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's 1. I was like, please say 4 and get all 5.
So now that I've unlocked Morrigan's second ability, which is No Fear, which increases my movement by 1 this turn, I'm going to go ahead and move up into G4 because she has not spent an ability this turn.
Okay.
Anything there?
Nothing there.
Okay.
You can move a monster if you'd like. Oh, I forgot to use Mind's Eye.
I think you used Mind's Eye first at the very beginning of last turn.
Nope.
Did you not use Mind's Eye before? Oh, you did not. You did not. You did not.
Forgotted.
You did not.
All right. F4. E4. E5. E6.
Okay.
Mind's Eye on B5.
You see something shining in the hay. That is going to be your Questar.
And that's why
Wow.
I didn't go him up, because I was like, I'm going to find it. I'm just going to find it. No. All right. And that's why that level 3 trap was there. Cool. Into the Cosmos streams. Stevie, we're going to get back to that schedule, or we're going to be playing a lot of Legendary. We'll be able to use those channel points and so on and so forth. So make sure you hang around for the next, months, years to come. This is just the beginning of our normal schedule. Obviously, this is not the beginning because this is an event. But, yeah. All right. So, I didn't show your board at that point. But now it is your turn.
Alrighty. I'll go ahead and go up to G3,
Nothing there.
F3,
Nothing there.
Investigate E3,
Nothing there.
back to G3,
Good to go.
and then I'll spend no fear to move down to G4.
Okay. Good. Nice clearance of 4 spaces there. I'm going to go to D6.
1 second. Okay, D6,
C6.
C6,
B6.
B6,
And then to the Questar.
and as you step up to the Questar, a werebeast jumps out and attacks you.
That must be that Werbeast. I'm
Oh.
just going to move him down. All right. Well, I'm going to use Alteration Spell
Okay.
and knock him down to a level 1 monster.
So now it is a skeleton. You basically rip the skin and muscle completely off of him, so he no longer has the
Wait.
ferocity.
Why would I want to do that? It's a 1 to 4, right? Werbeast?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
wondering
do
that.
That makes no sense. I lose XP.
Okay.
So no alteration spell. I just was like, oh, I can use my fireball, but I can't do that either. So yeah, I'm just gonna straight up face it. You ready?
Yeah.
1,
No.
2,
Nope.
4.
Yes.
So 2 wounds. And I'm going to just waste the XP, but I'm going to get her teleportation.
Drink
Right.
that Questar around your neck. Start teleporting.
Yep, now I can teleport out of there. I can use her ability. I didn't use Mind's Eye.
That is correct.
So
There you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm out.
That's it. Easy enough.
Wow.
Ah, sweet revenge. That was tough, just because Mind's Eye, or not Mind's Eye, yeah, Mind's Eye allowed me to really pick apart like a Founder's Out portal, which is great. But then it's like, once you find that level 3 trap, usually the Questar is close by.
Could be.
It would have been a great decoy,
Hmm?
but it's really tough because you don't. If you do decide to go on, if you decide to place it out here in any way,
Correct.
that's risky for him because if I went and just, and found it, then it's just a matter of finding out his exit portal. So it's a risk, and through here he's able to funnel. I'm sure there was other stuff on B3. We can go to his setup here.
Yeah. So when you set it up, you have no clue where somebody's going to go. You went basically straight through the hall into the other building. But there's so much area on the outside that can take a long time to investigate and find and slow down. So you have no clue how they're going to react.
And that's the tough part. Like for me, I probably in a normal game would have went down or up in the very beginning.
Yeah, because the first thing you missed directly next to you was the wellspring.
I didn't want that.
But,
but yeah,
it could
it's
have been
true.
anything. You didn't
Yeah.
even look there.
Yeah.
I could have had
Exit portal.
the
Yeah.
exit portal and the Questar directly
And
next
I
to you. So
would-
you walk in and you just went right through.
And
the-
that would have been just absolutely brilliant. But yeah, and that's Keepers of the Questar.
Yeah, so-
Oh, wait. We have to know what was in that treasure chest that you passed by.
It was a resurrection scroll.
you don't want that.
It was a resurrection scroll.
Oh, I didn't want that.
So yeah, so
I love that reveal.
yeah, you start kind of overthinking and trying to figure out where everything is and how they would put it together and where you think that person's going to go and that kind of stuff, and it could be completely blown out of the water in the very first turn. You have no clue.
Here, let me do a close up here.
That was exactly the idea that I had in mind for when I was designing the game, was like, how do you get into someone else's head and how do you keep that going and extend that experience?
Yes. So we could have, basically the exact same setups, change a few things around, and it would be a completely different game between the two of them, just based off of, the different maps or a different style of monsters that we used, different styles of traps,
Different heroes.
different heroes. Yeah, completely different heroes.
And then if someone's play style changes as well. that makes a difference.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the reason why some things are set up the way they are, where you build up the location, you build up the map and the quest before you choose your adventurers. So you're not really building towards who you think that they're playing or they're going to be playing. You have no clue who they're going to be playing. So they could come in with somebody that's super powerful based off of the map that you've chosen, or they could be completely ill prepared. You have no idea.
Yeah, so I had this mapped out, and I'll tell you what happened. So right out the gate, I'm trying to get this to focus and be good. But so right out the gate, I put the trap there to end your turn. Immediately gives me an advantage because I'm almost going back to back. My goal is obviously not to let it go long enough, the game long enough where I got through all level 1 traps. I'm done with those now. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I'm 1 by that time. Then I counted 1, 2. I knew you were going to investigate because that's just your play style, and then you'd end out right here.
Sure.
And then I was like, all right, then depending on where it goes, it'll lose his next turn. And then rather than putting it like here, then you would have landed on it on like your 4th movement. It wouldn't have mattered. But then coming down here, obviously the wellspring there early because you wouldn't need it because you wouldn't have run into any monsters.
But I could have gone north.
Could have. I would have dropped you here. Then you would have. But the reason I was thinking you weren't going to is because last time you didn't check this against. Not me though. Who were you playing against? I guess you only played against me. No, you played against someone else.
I've played other people.
Someone put a bunch of stuff here, and you didn't go in right away. But I was like, I'll take that risk. So if you go up, I mean, there's nothing really over here. But then if it's actually beneficial, because if you were to go up, then the Questar is all the way at the bottom. Mm. So then you would have found the but then you would have had to go all the way, and by that time I would have been long out. But
that was what was very entertaining for me watching it when you said, "Oh, he played right into my hand," because I wanted to comment on it, but I didn't want to give away your map. And you know the way that you thought, like, "Oh, he will investigate into I4, and then he'll end his turn, and then his very first move on the next one will end the turn." That was very cunning.
Mm-hmm. It was very brutal.
All right, so this was been Keepers of the Questar, designed by Gordan LeVasseur. It's got an absolute ton of content in it. 8 different maps, 8 different adventurers, like 162 tokens. SRP is going to be $24.99. So we wanted to keep it very family friendly and easier for younger audiences to get into.
It's an amazing price. I'm gonna call that out. $24.99 for this, all this content, replayability, and everything. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can't contain myself.
It's going to be out later this year, so keep an eye out for it, or you can ask your local stores to pick it up. But I mean, just the way that it's designed, as far as the tokens can represent anything, the maps can be changed out. There's a lot of room for expansions, just different ideas. I mean, just the whole fantasy theme that we've got in this can open us up to just about anything. Some of you may know another game that we have called Dungeon Draft. It's a game that came out a couple of years ago, but the characters that we used from it are actually characters from Dungeon Draft. So if you're familiar with Dungeon Draft, these characters are going to be familiar to you. It is a drafting style mechanic with the fantasy theme to it, but it's all the same characters. So it's a nice little crossover between those. And then the final thing is, can I have your Blind Harry card? At release, if you do purchase the game Keepers of the Questar from us, we're actually going to include an alternate art promo card. This is Anwer, the Rogue. So she's kind of like Blind Harry, so this will be unique just to orders on upperdeckstore.com. So you'll want to head out to upperdeckstore.com, make sure that you sign up for the emails on that, and so when it does show up, you're able to pre-order it.